Well, for the first time since 2013, the Idaho Steelheads are back in the Western Conference Finals, and for the first time in playoff history, they'll face the Toledo Walleye. Hello, Steelheads fans. Cam McGuire here alongside head coach Everett Sheen for our Western Conference Finals preview. And Coach, I know you talked about it earlier this week. It's pretty awesome to be playing hockey this late into the season, and something that the Steelheads and you as well haven't been able to do for a little bit.
Yeah, we're extremely grateful to still be able to keep coming to the rink this time of year, and showing up in shorts and a golf shirt is always a nice thing. But our guys have battled tremendously hard all season long, all playoffs. Fought through some adversity early, and find ourselves here in the third round. An exciting time.
We mentioned first time in the third round for the Steelheads since 2013. We'll talk about the Toledo Walleye coming up here, and for Toledo and Idaho, it's each the fifth time that they will enter the Western Conference Finals. But I want to focus on your guys' club here first, and depth and scoring was something we talked about in the regular season time and time again, and that has proved here in the playoffs with 15 different players scoring a goal and 20 players recording at least 1 point. I mean, when you can get that depth and scoring to continue into the playoffs, that's a huge plus.
Absolutely. It's makes it tough on the opposing teams. They don't just have to focus on shutting down 2-3 guys. It's a collective effort, and any given night, someone's going to step up and take charge. Casey Johnson's been playing unbelievable. Wade Murphy leading the playoffs in scoring. So it's those guys that really contribute to the success. Those guys stepping up this time of year, and I feel like everyone's done so.
Steelheads forward Wade Murphy leading the ECHL playoffs currently with 9 goals, tied for first with 14 points, and kind of touched on him right there. But he had a great regular season, and he's really elevated his game here in the playoffs. What have you seen from him in order to lift his game to just another level?
He's just, he wants it so bad. He's competing every single night. He's like a dog on a bone on that puck there, and he's just willing to do whatever it takes to get that puck and get it in the back of the net. He's got a lot of speed, a lot of skill, and a tremendous shot. So you combine those, and with a little extra competitiveness, you get what you're seeing here.
Well, you combine him with the line of A.J. White and Jordan Kawaguchi. I mean, they've been spectacular here in the playoffs. 16 goals and 32 points combined, and you've relied greatly on them, and they've proven to be successful.
Yeah, they play well together. Whitey's a veteran. He's been around. He's smart. He knows where to go. Kawaguchi's a tremendous competitor himself. He's got a lot of skill, but he's tough to get the puck off down low. And then Murph, like we had just touched on, his speed and skill. So those guys get him the puck and just let him go do Murph things.
In the regular season, the Steelheads had the most productive blue line in terms of offensive production, and that's carried over into the playoffs here. And kind of a little bit of an unsung hero is Casey Johnson, who you touched on just a moment ago. We knew his defensive play, but his offensive play has certainly shined here in the playoffs.
No, absolutely. He's a tremendous skater, so he can get up the ice with the puck, and he's really risen the level of his game this time of year. And to be able to get offensive contributions from a guy more known for the defensive side of things is always a big plus. And then you got your Hedricks and Kudlas and Registers, providing that offense like they always do. And then Cody Haskin being a steady presence back there. It's and then with Como and Nads as well, they step in, bring that little fire from feisty little guys. But it's a good dynamic, and it's a big piece of our team.
The Steelheads used 6 games in round 1 to upend the Utah Grizzlies. It took 5 games in round 2 against the Allen Americans. And one thing I want to focus on right now is goal scoring. 28 goals in that second round for Idaho, the most ever in ECHL history in a 5-game series. I mean, what allowed you guys to kind of find that spark once again and really take off offensively?
Well, we knew going into the series you're going to get your offensive chances against Allen, just kind of the way they play. They want to trade chances back and forth. And if you can limit their offensive ability, they're a dangerous team. We'd find ourselves with the puck a lot more and being able to generate those grade A chances. And and I think a little bit of confidence getting that first round win. All of a sudden we're not gripping the stick as tight, and the net's looking a little bit bigger. So I think it's just a combination of all those things.
You talk about confidence. Your power play has scored now in 4 straight games, and that's really taken off as well. Third right now in the playoffs at 26%. 3 goals in each of the last 2 games on the man advantage against Allen, and that's a good sign when you can get the power play clicking here at this stage in the game.
Absolutely. Special teams is huge in playoffs, and especially the farther in you go. Games could be decided by 1 goal, and maybe it is a power play goal, or you don't give up a goal while you're shorthanded. So for those special teams to start really finding their rhythm is big for us.
In the series clinching win last Sunday, Adam Scheel, his first professional playoff shutout with 37 saves in the 6-0 win, and He's been spectacular all regular season. It's carried over into the postseason. And you look after the game on Friday, really rebounded, only 3 goals allowed on his next 68 shots, and he's been a rock for you guys here the last couple weeks.
Yeah, it was a great response from him there. He wasn't happy with his game. I mean, granted, we didn't do him any favors either, but then for him to be able to come back and only give up 3 in the next 2 games was pretty big. And then that big save, highlight reel save again on that last game. So, he's a tremendous competitor as well, and he's playing some good hockey.
Well, it's the Toledo Walleye and the Idaho Steelheads. We mentioned the first ever meeting in the playoffs. 10 regular season meetings, each team with 5 wins. And Coach, this is a team you saw last year out in Toledo, and I know you have had some time to study now and do your homework. You see some similarities from this team last year that reached the finals?
Yeah. They're big, fast, skilled. I see a lot of the way we play in their style as well, so that'll be good. It's going to be a good test. I'd say probably the 2 best teams in the league going at it here in the Western Final. So it'll be a grind and it'll be a battle. Staying
on the focus of the Toledo Walleye, how do you approach this goaltending matchup? Because they have 2 very strong goaltenders in Sebastian Costa and John Letherman. And we've seen them alternate the first 8 games. I'd imagine that trend will continue here in this series, but you kind of got a taste of that against the Allen series, so won't be nothing new in terms of seeing a different goalie night in and night out.
No, exactly. I mean, they're both tremendous goalies. We've been watching them. We're going to have to really make sure we get a lot of traffic in front of them and find ways to create second and third opportunities, getting them scrambling in the goal mouth there a little bit. But, our guys, they find ways to get pucks in the back of the net. We can do it all sorts of different ways. So.
Defensively speaking, the Walleye leading the postseason with a 1.75 goals against average and leading in terms of goal scoring as well at 4.88. This is a team that hasn't lost yet in the postseason, 8-0 heading into tonight's game against Toledo. I mean, how do you shut down their offensive production, a team that's put up 39 goals in those 8 games?
We just got to stay true to ourselves. Regular season, we led the league in goals against, so we just got to stay true to ourselves, make sure we're looking after the D side of the game, the responsibilities there, and getting our chances and making good when we do so.
You mentioned special teams, a make or break in the postseason. Your guys' special teams have been very good, and Toledo's have their power play right about 40%. What have you noticed that's worked so well for them in the first 2 rounds?
They got a lot of skill on their power play. They got Hawkins. He can really twist the puck, so we got to make sure we're aware of him. And ultimately, we got to make sure we're playing discipline and staying out of the penalty box. You can't be killing penalties all game against a lethal penalty or a power play like that. So stay out of the box, and when we do have to kill it, we're going to make sure we get it done.
Lastly here, you guys wrapped up the series against Allen on Sunday and took a couple days off and right back at it Wednesday and throughout the week. I mean, how crucial is it to start this series at home and get a couple of rest days back in Boise and being able to sleep in your own bed before having to go back to Toledo next week?
Yeah, it's nice. Kind of take a little mental break there for 2 days. This time of year when you're in a series, that's all that's on your mind is getting the job done in that 2 weeks time frame. But to be able to get a couple days just to step away from the game and get away from the arena and enjoy time with the family, just kind of refresh and regroup and get ready to get back to work.
Well, it's a best-of-7 series here for the Western Conference Finals between the Idaho Steelheads and the Toledo Walleye. Game 1 here tonight, Game 2 tomorrow at 4:10 p.m. before the series shifts back to Toledo for the next 3 games. Coach, as always, thanks for the time and best of luck here against the Walleye.
Thanks, Cam.